are here live with Coach Lew at Accelerate Life University, your #1 source for self-education success. XLR8life.com. Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew. Here's Coach Lew.
What's up, guys? Good morning, and welcome back to Breakthrough with Coach Lew. It's Monday, guys. It's 8 a.m., 8:04 a.m., Monday morning. What do you got planned for your week? How are you set up to win this week is my question. And we're going to talk a little bit today about what's coming up in April. April is going to be some big changes, and April is going to be all about change. We've been alluding up and back and forth to this for a while this month about change. Well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of change going on and a lot of things to be compressed into very small periods of time. When you think about 1 month, is a very small period of time in the grand scheme of things. However, you can have massive amounts of change go on in a month. The quick question for you is that change you asked for? Is that change you want? Is that change you're directing? Or do you feel like you're being shoved into change sometimes? Do you think that, there are a lot of people facing an unfair amount of change being pushed on them? Yes, and yes, all the way around. The answer to that is yes. The difference is your interpretation of the change, okay? That's the thing. Change in its natural form is automatic. And you might say, no, you got to work to change. No, you don't. If you sit on your butt at home and eat fatty, gross, nasty, sugary foods and don't move, you're going to change. Your body's going to change. Your health is going to change. If you get out and run Tough Mudders and get out and run, and do stuff like that, or do yoga, whatever it is. Maybe you're older, maybe you do Tai Chi. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe you're young and you play football. if you get out and do that, you're going to have a different form of change than if you sit on your butt on the couch going ice cream, Cheetos, this, that, and the other. Okay, and you're also going to have a bigger mental change. Okay, last week was a trying week. I got to say it. It's been a trying month with a lot of change, but there's so much opportunity coming in, and I'm not griping and bitching and complaining. What I am doing is saying there's been a lot of change in the past month. And not all of it has been totally asked for, but it must be dealt with, okay? See, the other thing, though, is one of the decisions that we made business-wise, at the last minute, the people we're doing business with threw in a curveball on a lease renewal. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you serious? You really think I'm going to do something that's going to hinder or damage my business to renew a lease with you that I really didn't want to do anyway, but it was more convenient to stay and make some changes than it was to, move the business? However, they throw this curveball, and it's a big curveball. It's not something where you go, oh, whatever, we can live with that. No, it's a do or die deal. So this morning, I'm going to have a do or die conversation with them. Now, how is that going to change the next 6 months of life? If we figure it out and they decide that it's a smart move not to mess with me on this one, we stay, we continue growing and making it better where it's at. If they think they want to play a game, we're out of here. Change. Fulfill our lease. We got 6 months to go. See you later. Gives us enough time to find a better spot and not have to play a playground childhood game of oh, I'm going to show you a little situational power. Let me tell you something. When you're working with me, baby, you start pushing that situational power on me, and I'm going to show you who's got power. I got power in the cash. You don't want to you don't want my money? Boom, done. But my point to that is about change. Okay, later on today, there's going to be a decision made based on a conversation of you take the hell out of this. You try to slide it in, even we hadn't even been discussed, or we make a big change. And see, the thing is some people would go, I got screwed over if we can't work it out. Oh my God, it's good. I don't know what I'm going to do. Or go, hey, let's take it to the next level. Let's find something better. You see the difference there. And I'm using this as an example. It's a real world, real today example of what's going on, in my world to be able to show you, but one way or the other, by the end of the day, I'm going to have a decision made. And it's either we really progress even better at where we're at, or this is an impasse and we fulfill our obligation and carry on. There is no in between. There is no, something's going to change. The change was supposed to be already there. We made the decision of, okay, we're not going to relocate the business. We're going to make it even better where it's at. So my point to that is part of that change does have something to do with somebody else. That may or may not work in the favorable to staying. But if it doesn't, we're going to make it a great change. It's going to be a next level change. And that's like anything in life. What about you? Do are you in a relationship? Maybe some people they've been married for years and they're really not getting along, or they're having troubles, and you're going, I don't know if I should make a change and get out of this relationship before I get too old. Okay. You might start thinking that. But what if instead of changing relationships and bringing the same person with you to the next one, what if you did some change and went back to treating that relationship like when it was new and everything else, and change what you do, which may change what your partner does? Okay, it doesn't mean I'm suddenly nice again and not arguing or not nasty and not grumpy and, one day I expect you to come back to me and be fine. No. But, the change is an evolutionary change. But my point to this is, see, that's something that some other folks can relate to. Some people are like, Coach, I have no idea what you're talking about, change in business and commercial leasing and blah, 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 blah. I've just heard that they're all tough to deal with, and they are. But my point being is, what would be the change you need to make? You might be thinking, I got to change my relationship. where it might be change what you bring to your relationship rather than changing the relationship. Now, if you put everything in and you try everything and you do and you give 110% to something and it's still not working, then it's time to change what you're doing or change your location or the who's or the what's in that. And that's the great thing about change, is really you're in control of it. And some people say, no, I'm not. I work for this boss and he's not going to change. Well, you could change your job. And you might go, well, I've been there 20 years and I got a pension. Okay, but someday you're going to die and be on your deathbed and go, I worked for this company for 30 years and got a pension, but I hated every day of it. That's not living, baby. Now you might be going, no, I love my job. Okay, well, that's great. Then you wouldn't want to change your job. Maybe your focus is to change even how you show up to your job. How can I do better? How can I make it even more fun? How can I enjoy it more? How can it be better? Change is not about always doing away with something bad. If we could focus more on change to taking it to the next level, ooh, yeah, nice. If you're watching on the site, guys, drop me some stuff in the chat. That's the only venue I have with chat this morning is our site, accelerate.life.com /LCTV for LifeCoach TV. That's where I'm live every Monday morning. But don't forget, you can always go back to Accelerate. It's XLR, the number 8, right here. No, right here. I am physically challenged. Right there. AccelerateLife.com. You can always go back and see all of the previous shows and all of the recordings. Plus, catch us on Spotify and Apple iTunes, Google, etc. We're even on, I'm really proud of this one, we're even on Audible now. So we are on Audible for you for audio. So you can always get the Breakthrough with Lou show. But my point to talking to you today is I'm going to make this kind of brief because April is going to be the month where we're really going to delve into the different components of change. April's a great time to do it. You know why? It's spring. Okay, you know why else? Anytime's a great time for directed positive change. Any time is a time that any sort of change can come and hit you. Okay, that you don't always get changes when you want it. And that's the thing. God's got a little sense of humor. You know what? If you're not pushing yourself for growth, God, or however you call your creator, is going to come along and give you a little bump and knock you forward and go, hey, it's time. And sometimes that feels like that bump is knocking you backwards, but anything that makes you take action and grow to the next level is not a negative. It might be difficult. It might be tough. I'm not saying it's not tough. Okay, I'll use another real world me example for you. And this isn't about me, but hopefully my examples teach you. Yesterday was Tough Mudder in Jack's. Okay, now Tough Mudder was not high on my list in the past few weeks because I'm not conditioned. I haven't been training right. I have been stressed to the max. Yep, see, coach even gets stressed. I just learned tools to deal with it. And just not, I was like, oh my God, and there's so much, we have so much to complete by the end of the month. I'm like, I really shouldn't go. And I got out there on the course. Was it tougher on me than usual? Yes. Was my cardio down a little bit? Was I a little off on my running game? Yes. And this one's a lot more running because it was a 10K, not a 5K, and more obstacles and some pretty kick butt obstacles. But you know what? I stepped into it anyway, and it was just what I needed because it reignited me to go, you know what? This is what I need to teach you guys to do. When it looks the darkest, the hardest, the toughest is when you got to reach one more rung on the ladder, one more rung on a rope wall, one more sales call, one more I love you to a loved one, one more sit-up, one more push-up. Don't do sit-ups, do crunches. One more. There's a power in that one more to get you there. You know, one more minute. The ice bath yesterday, it's this big, long pool thing full of ice, and it's got walls that go below the water. I don't love going under the muddy water, but hey, it is what it is. And it's full of ice. A little bit of water and a whole lot of ice. The difference is it used to be one wall where you'd go in, go under the wall, come up and pull yourself out on the ropes and get out. Now there's two, and it's longer. And I'm like, oh, I love this one though. And I was telling somebody that I was running with, kind of, when you jump into it, just do it. This is going to be your favorite thing. And it's like cryotherapy. Make it under the first wall. And what I should have done was just kept going. I should never surface, because I surfaced for a second. I'm like, and it knocks the breath out of you. And then I was like, oh, I got to do it again. And then I did it, but it was harder to stop and look back and go, oh, let me pop out for a second, get a breath. It was harder than just completing it. And that's what we find with change that can be really crazy, is sometimes it's harder to complete it when you take a step back, if that makes sense. If you go in with a clear vision and you push through and go, I am not done till I hit this, that's great. And just as a little side note, they put barbed wire on the top of those walls so you can't climb over. There is no, you're going. I mean, granted, and I'll give them credit. They, they have medics on site, and they have, people there. God forbid, you get in trouble on these. You're not alone. But it's like, that's the spirit you got to adopt into yourself. Challenge comes up. Change, challenge. Start out the same way. Oftentimes, change often starts with a challenge. Think about that. But challenge is also what makes you grow, and challenge is what creates change. It's it's not a linear path. It's a circle. You go in a circle, guys. And that don't sound right in coaching, because we don't want to be stuck in a circle, but it really is. It works its way around, and it works as a whole. Challenge and change are arm in arm. You link arm in arm. And sometimes there's a weaker, heavier part, and then when you lock arm in arm with the who or the what that can get you through that change, it's great. Example yesterday, again, going down the water slide. They're like, lock arms. And the funny part was, you lock arms with other people and you go down this huge slide together into the muddy water. Now, the thing was, at different times, different people got hung up on this thing a little bit because it's terrainy. It's not like a kid's water slide. This thing's like, bisqueen over dirt mounds, high dirt mounds. So it was funny because one person would get caught up and then the other person would kind of pull them ahead. You'd get stuck. The people on the other side of you were pulling you ahead. And it was like, oh, that's recruiting minor changes, also recruiting the who's and the what's in your life. There's some shit you're not good at, okay? And the biggest lie we've ever been told on is focus on your weakness. Well, what are you going to get? You're going to get weaker. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be angry all the time if you got to focus on your weak spot, okay? If you don't love accounting and you're a business owner, hey, farm that out to somebody. If you don't love sales and you're a business owner, you're in trouble. No, seriously though, get a good salesperson. If you don't love cleaning, hire a house cleaner, because if you don't love cleaning, it's going to take you all day to clean your house. You find somebody who loves cleaning and you can pay them and free up your whole day, and you pay them for what maybe is a value of an hour or two of your time, and you free up a whole day, that's a good change. That makes sense. So don't focus on your weaknesses, focus on your greatness. Now, sometimes you have to strengthen some of your weaknesses, I get it. If you're a gymnast, you're not going to ignore your core strength. That wouldn't make any sense. And you might go, well, that's the weakest part. That's part of your game. If you want to do that, you're going to have to strengthen that. That's not something you can ignore. But if you don't love, organizing stuff or filing paperwork, hire somebody to do it, rather than focus on, oh, let me put together a better file system and I still hate this, okay? That's me. I would really prefer somebody else comes behind me and keeps things organized. That's why I have an assistant. In some of the parts of the business that I don't love those parts. I love this. I love the creation and setup and the creation of our courses. I love creating them. That's fun, but I love interacting with you guys the most. The last thing I want to do is be, continually going, how can I set up my file cabinet better to hold paperwork? Let's set it up for me. Tell me what's got to go where. Same thing with the accountant. What do you need? Tell me what you need and I'll give it to you. I don't want to sit there and enter it into a spreadsheet all day long and save a few bucks, by spending hours and hours putting the stuff into a spreadsheet. I want to go, here's the credit card statements. Here's this, here's this, here's this. You know what you're doing. You love this. I hate this stuff. So I bet I do like to see at the end of it that there's enough to buy a meal or something left over. No, seriously, guys. So change, challenge, they go together. I challenge you, when I talk about challenge, I'm going to challenge you to April. Be here each and every week live on Breakthrough with Coach Lou. If you can't catch the replays, but it's better if you're live because I want questions. I want to make it much more interactive. But we're going to go through spring into change in April. It's going to be a nice 4-week series, maybe 5. Sometimes I overdo it a little bit. But rather over-deliver to you than under-deliver. But let's jump in and make April the point where we really push forward with the positive change. All right, guys, you know the drill, right? What's the drill? Live with faith, energy, passion, always live your dreams. This is Coach Lou signing off. Have a blessed day. See you soon.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dreams.